Hey guys, it's Emily, and today I am reading Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. So if you've been following my channel for a while, you might know that I've started rereading the Harry Potter series. This is my first time rereading them since I was a child. I think the last time I read these books, I was maybe 10 or 12 years old, and so I've decided to finally reread them, and it's my first time reading them in English, so it's been quite the experience. It's been so much fun, and now I am on to the Goblet of Fire. So today I'm going to start this one. It is such a thick book. I had forgotten how big this book is, and it's also one of my favorites in the series. I've watched the movie so many times as a child, and my two favorites are Goblet of Fire and Half-Blood Prince, which I know is quite the unpopular opinion, but I'm excited to reread this, see if I still feel the same about it, and watch the movie adaptation to see if I still like it. So I'll be completely honest with you guys, I already started reading this like a month ago. I had made it to page like 200 or something like that, and I didn't record any clips back then. I wanted to do so for a vlog, I think, but I ended up scratching the vlog because I didn't have enough content, or I just wasn't satisfied with the way it turned out, so I just scratched it. So I've lost all my clips for this. So I decided to start over. I just really want these vlogs to be like a full representation of my experience. And so I've decided to reread the first part that I've already read so that I can give you guys my thoughts and opinions on the book. So we're gonna start over. Hey guys, so it's now a little bit later. I've come home from work and I have made some progress with Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. I am currently on page 73 and I have some thoughts that I wanted to share with you guys. So first, I really enjoy my reread. It's been such a great experience, especially because of the audiobook. It really makes it an immersive experience. I feel like I'm with these characters and I'm just there with them, living in the action, and it's just been incredible. If you haven't listened to the audiobooks, I would highly recommend them. I've been listening to the ones narrated by Jim Dale and they're just incredible. But I also really like seeing how the Weasleys interact with one another. I feel like in the first three books, we haven't really got to know them as a family. Like, we know certain characters like Ron and Ginny and the twins, but we don't really get to see like Molly and Percy and Arthur, all the other Weasleys. And at the beginning of this book, Harry goes to spend some time at the Weasleys' house, and I just love seeing them interact with one another and seeing their relationship, their family dynamic. So it's been super interesting. I've just really been loving those moments. They are such a warm and welcoming family, and they are so pure. I love them. They're probably my favorite wizarding family in the whole Harry Potter franchise. They're just, I love them so much. I wish they were real. There's specifically that moment in chapter 3, I think, where the Weasleys go to get Harry for the summer. Like, they invite him to the Quidditch World Cup and they go fetch him at the Dursleys, and oh my god, it is so funny, hilarious. Like, honestly, I was trying so hard not to laugh out loud on the bus because it was just so freaking funny. I couldn't help myself. I forgot if this moment was in the movie, but if it wasn't, such a missed opportunity because it would have been prime funny moment. It was just so hilarious. I had to like hide in my scarf so that people wouldn't see that I was laughing out loud. But I also really like how J.K. Rowling has been expanding this world. I feel like with every book she introduces new elements to the wizarding world, and this book is probably Harry's first contact with the outside. He hasn't really had any external contacts with the rest of the wizarding world, and this book introduces him to a whole new thing. Harry doesn't even know that there's other schools beside Hogwarts. I'm at the point where they just got to the Quidditch World Cup, and just seeing Harry being like amazed by everything that surrounds him, like these hundreds and thousands of wizards. Oh damn, like there's these hundreds and thousands of wizards that are coming from all over the world, and Harry's just amazed by everything that surrounds him. Hey guys, so it is the next day and I wanted to update you guys on my reading progress with Goblet of Fire because I did read some more today on my commute. I am currently on page 110. I just finished reading the whole Quidditch World Cup and I was really interested in the whole Quidditch scene. I know some people don't like the Quidditch scenes in Harry Potter. They think they're kind of boring, but personally I quite enjoy them. I feel like we really get to know the sport better, and I don't know, I could really imagine everything that was going on in the scene. I know we read a few scenes here and there of Quidditch during the other books, but I feel like this one really does the sport justice, if that makes sense, and I enjoyed that. I am up to the part where the dark mark appeared in the sky, and I feel like that whole part was kind of different in the movie. I don't exactly remember what happens in the movie before Harry got to Hogwarts. I remember some of it. I remember the grand lines, but I don't remember the specifics of how they did the adaptation. So I am quite curious to rewatch the adaptation right now because I feel like they made quite a few changes in the adaptation, and like of course they won't be able to adapt everything that's in the book because this book is like 600 pages and the movie is already long enough as is. So I am curious because it's been a while since I've watched that movie, so I would be curious to rewatch it once we're done reading this. But the whole reason why I wanted to update you guys to begin with is because I got some book mail, and it is Harry Potter related, as you'll see, and I just thought that it would be the perfect opportunity for me to show you guys what I got. So there's 2 books in there, one that is Harry Potter related, the other one is not. Oh wow, oh my god, it's so pretty. So let's start with the Harry Potter one. I finally have Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. This is the new Bloomsbury edition, and it just is so gorgeous. It is the same edition as Goblet of Fire. I've been repurchasing the Harry Potter series because I didn't own a copy of the series in English, so now I have them all. This is the last book that I had to get because I have them all already, so I am so happy. And this one has such a beautiful cover. I love the colors. Like, wow, it is gorgeous. Oh my god, I'm in love with this cover. It is so beautiful. But yeah, this is the first book that I got. And then we have another middle grade, and that one is The Trials of Apollo Book 4. So this is The Tyrant's Tomb by Rick Riordan. I have been reading this series and I didn't buy the new book when it came out, so I finally decided to get it. I really enjoy Rick Riordan's work, and so I'm very curious to see where this goes. I don't think this is the last book in the series. I think there's like at least another one that's coming. Oh yeah, there's gonna be another book in fall 2020. Oh, this one is purple too. We kind of match. Those covers, they're kind of, I don't know, they have a similar vibe. I like it. But this makes me realize that I got a new Harry Potter book and I never showed it to you guys. I got it in New York and it was actually a Christmas gift from my dad, but I don't think I showed it in the vlog. So I guess I'll just show you guys. Because I mean, this is a Harry Potter vlog, right? This is my Harry Potter shelf in this very bad lighting. I hope you can tell. Yeah, this is what it looks like. And this is the book that I got in New York. Yeesh. But I got Harry Potter, A History of Magic, New York Historical Society Museum and Library. And it looks like this under the dust jacket. And I got it stamped at the New York Public Library. And yeah, I'm very excited. It looks beautiful. Like it has illustrations. And just like, yeah, it's a work of art, basically. I'm very excited to read it. It's more information about the Harry Potter world. Like, this is a script, I think, of the Half-Blood Prince. Like, this is amazing. I was just going through it, and I just think it's so interesting. I'm so excited to dive into it eventually. But yeah, I just really liked it, and I'm glad that I have a copy. Hey guys, so it's now been a couple of days and I haven't made that much progress with Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. I mean, I'm currently on page 192, so I'm pretty much all caught up to where I was before I started reading it for the sake of this vlog. But I don't know why, but the last couple of days I just haven't really been feeling like reading. Not that I'm in a reading slump, I haven't really been in the mood to pick up a book, which I guess might be the beginning of a reading slump, but I don't want to believe it. I don't know. I feel like when I was on the bus, I didn't necessarily want to read a book. I mostly wanted to listen to music or maybe a podcast. I wasn't necessarily in the mood to read, so I haven't really read on my commute for the past like 2 or 3 days. And even at night when I came home, I was more so in the mood to watch Netflix than I was in the mood to read, which I guess I'm gonna embrace because I haven't really truly watched Netflix in a while. So it was good for me to like just do something else, but at the same time that means that I didn't really make a lot of progress with this. However, I did read a little bit more, and so I wanted to share some of my thoughts. I have reached the point where Harry is finally at Hogwarts, and it's kind of crazy to me how like in the first 3 books it took maybe 50 to 100 pages for Harry to get to Hogwarts, and in this one it takes like 150 pages before Harry even is on the train on his way to Hogwarts. So it's very different because so much of the action takes place even before Harry goes to Hogwarts, and it's only the beginning. There's so much more that's to come, and I'm very excited. It kind of hit me that so much of the action takes place before Harry even gets to Hogwarts, and it's very different from the rest of the series so far. Also, this book is quite darker if you compare it to like the first 3 books in the series, so it's quite interesting. It's a bit different from the rest of the series so far, and I can definitely see how the rest of the series is going to take a darker turn. It's quite interesting to see the contrast between this book and the rest of the series as of right now, but I'm really enjoying reading this, probably because it's quite different from the rest. I have reached a point where Beauxbatons and Durmstrang are going to be arriving at Hogwarts for the Triwizard Tournament, which is super exciting. It's probably like the best part of the book, so I'm very much looking forward to that. Not the ideal spot, but it'll have to do. So hey guys, it's been a couple of days since I have last updated you. To be completely honest, I was not really in the mood to read. I was listening to an audiobook. I was listening to Becoming by Michelle Obama, and I don't know, I was on such a kick for nonfiction lately. I've read Becoming, I've binge read it, and absolutely loved it. It was so inspiring. And after that, I just wanted to read more nonfiction. So I started reading The Big Life by Anne Chockett, and so far I am absolutely in love with this book. It's amazing. But anyway, it took me a while before I decided to get back to Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. I've been reading a little bit here and there, as you saw in the previous like montage thing. I've been trying to read some more of it, and I really wanted to make some actual progress with the book before I actually updated you, because otherwise I just feel like this video would be way too long. But I have finally made it to page 306, which means that I just finished reading the first task, and I'll be honest, I don't have a lot of thoughts about what happened in the last 100 pages or so since I last updated you. But one thing that did stand out to me is the fact that the first task in the book is so short. Like, it's 6 pages of Harry fighting the dragon and it's done. In the movie, I feel like it's this big deal, and the book kind of glosses over the task. Like, there's so much leading up to it, but it was kind of underwhelming. I was expecting it to be this big thing because in the movie it is a big thing, but it's not that big of a deal in the book. And I'm like, okay. I feel like the movie is so much more dramatic than the book is. Like, the book is pretty dramatic because of like the whole fighting thing. Aside from that, like, it's pretty like normal, I guess, upbeat and fun to read, whereas the movie is super dramatic and super intense. And I feel like some elements in the book are different than they are in the movie, which makes sense. But I don't know if I prefer the book or the movie. I will really have to rewatch the movie, but I just remember things in Goblet of Fire being super intense and dramatic, whereas in the book it's like not that big of a deal. So interesting. Also, I feel like with Goblet of Fire, we are diving into a darker era, I guess, of the series. Like, the first 3 books are like semi-dark for what they are, but they're also kind of fun and they are just like an adventure. But in the 4th book and moving forward, it's gonna get darker and more intense, and like the stakes get elevated with each book. I'm kind of realizing how different this book is from the rest of the series, mostly because it's super big. It's like 600 pages. I am halfway through right now, and I feel like not much has happened plot-wise, but there's so much information that's been given to us. Hey guys, so it's been a while since I've last updated you, and I don't even remember when was the last time I updated you, but I have made some progress with Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, and I have some thoughts. So I have made it to page 486, and that means that I have about 100 pages or so left to read. Kind of terrified, but also like, finally. I feel like this has been taking me forever to read, but I'm really enjoying the experience. However, I've started to notice a lot of differences between the book and the movie. Like, some things are very trivial, like the fact that Dobby gives Harry the gillyweed in the book, but in the movie it's Neville who does that. Or other things that I feel like are kind of bigger things, such as Barty Crouch. I just feel like his whole like arc in this book is very different from what it is in the movie. I feel like since I've been reading this, I hate sitting on the floor. Damn it! Okay, I don't have much of this left to read. I'm hoping to finish it today, actually. After I film this update, we're probably gonna get back to reading or editing, because I do have a video to edit. But anyway, I am trying to finish this ASAP. But as I was saying, I feel like I've been noticing the differences between the book and the movie a lot more in this book specifically. Goblet of Fire used to be my favorite movie. I will rewatch that and let you know if it still is. Maybe not my favorite movie, but like the second. My favorite, I think, would be Half-Blood Prince, but this is a close second. But I've been reading this, and the whole time that I'm reading this, this, I keep thinking, oh, is this about to happen? Or, oh, wait, this doesn't happen in the movie. Does it? Or is it part of the movie? I don't remember. Just like, I keep having an internal dialogue trying to figure out the puzzle, like trying to put the pieces together, and I'm comparing the book and the movie a lot in my head. And like the whole time I'm reading this, every time we're introduced to a new piece of information, I'm asking questions. I just feel like I'm questioning myself a lot while I'm reading this, which has been a different experience because with the other books, I feel like I didn't remember them all that much. Like the plot, I remembered some things, but not a lot of it. And with this book, I remember much more. So I feel like I'm asking a lot more questions while I'm reading, and it's been different. Don't really know how to explain it. I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing. It's just that it's been a different experience so far just because of that factor. I'm hoping to finish this today. As I said, I'm about to start reading about the third task. I mean, I have 2 more chapters to read before I read about the third task. So we're very close to the end, and I feel like this is probably going to be my last update before I give you my final thoughts. I did it. I have finally finished reading Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. So hello guys. It has been a couple of days since I have last updated you. I think I updated you on Saturday, and I did not read after that update. I was supposed to, but I ended up editing a video, and then I just had like a movie night with my sister, and I didn't end up reading. And then I didn't read much on Sunday either. Like I did read a little bit, but not that much. I ended up doing most of my reading on my commute this week. So on Monday, yesterday, and today on Tuesday, and now I am finished and I have some thoughts. So where do I even begin? For some reason, this book made me feel really slumpy. I just wasn't drawn to it. I just didn't want to pick it up. And don't get me wrong, I actually really enjoyed it. I am so glad to be back into this world. I know I say this with every new video in this series, but I love these books. They are my childhood. I grew up with those. But for some reason, I wasn't drawn to the book. I enjoyed my experience a lot while I was reading it, but I just wasn't really in the mood to pick it up like ever. And I don't know what it is about it. Maybe because I dragged out my reading period for so long. Like I read this over like the course of, I'd say 6 weeks, I think, more or less, maybe 7 weeks. So I feel like I've been reading this forever, and that might be why I just kind of felt slumpy. If I had tried to read this like in a shorter period of time, I might have been more inclined to pick it up more, but I still enjoyed it nonetheless. However, I'll be completely honest with you guys. I almost didn't give this book a 5 out of 5 stars. I ended up giving it 5 out of 5 stars, by the way. Okay, so towards the end of the book, I feel like J.K. Rowling became kind of lazy. There's 2 things specifically that I don't like seeing in a book, and they happened here, and I was like, oh no, please don't do this. So let's start with where I was at. So I think I was gonna start the third task when I last updated you guys, and I think that task was really well done. I really enjoyed, I think this was my favorite task overall in this book. I just really enjoyed how it was done. I think it was a perfect balance between like action and cleverness. I just really enjoyed the way it was depicted, and I could really picture it. But then when Harry and Cedric touch the portkey and just get transported to this graveyard where Lord Voldemort is waiting, this is where J.K. Rowling got lazy, I think, because as much as I think seeing Voldemort's rise to power was really interesting, like seeing his rebirth, I really enjoyed that part. However, there's a whole chapter. It's chapter 32, I believe. It's called The Death Eaters. Oh, 33. There's a whole chapter where basically Voldemort just tells his entire life story, just tells how he did it, like how he managed to get back to being the famous Lord Voldemort. And that was such a lazy move on J.K. Rowling's part. I just feel like I hate when villains just tell their entire like plan or story or whatever, and you're just like, okay, but do you ever shut up? Like, I even updated my Goodreads and said something like, Voldemort sure loves the sound of his own voice, or something like that, because he was just talking and talking and talking and telling his like story, and it made a lot of sense, and I liked how it tied back to elements that affect the story. Everything is so well thought out, and I appreciated that. However, I just didn't like the way it was told. I just feel like it was so lazy having him like going around and telling his story, and just like, I don't know, I just felt like it could have been done in a different way, and I didn't like that. I think J.K. Rowling redeemed herself, because as I read the ending, I really liked how this book tied in with the next one. You can see little seeds that are being planted in order to prepare us for the next book, which I really liked about it. But I feel like the movie did a better job at portraying the whole tournament part. Like I was really interested in that, and I feel like this book's plot was all over the place because there were so many elements here and there that didn't have necessarily to do with the tournament, and the part that I was most interested in was the tournament personally. So I just wish that we had seen more of that, because I feel like the tasks were really glanced over. In the movie they're super intense, and I feel like the the action is better portrayed in the movie than it is in the book. I liked it. I think a better rating would probably be like 4.5 out of 5 stars, but I have such an attachment to it that I'm giving it 5 out of 5 stars, even though I did have some issues with it. Overall, I don't want to say that it's my least favorite book, but I think it might be my least favorite book so far, which makes me so sad because it used to be one of my favorites. Like, the movie is one of my favorites in the entire franchise. Like I said, it might just be because I wasn't in the mood for it, or like there was something wrong with me. I love this, but at the same time I had issues with it, and it breaks my heart. Anyway, I have rambled for long enough. I will not sign off this vlog just yet. I will be rewatching the movie and giving you guys my final thoughts and opinion. Hey guys, so today is Saturday, which means that it's been like 5 days since I last updated you, and I just finished watching Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, so I thought I would give you guys my final thoughts and update while everything is still fresh in my memory. Okay, I really enjoyed the movie, and I can't believe I'm going to say this, but I think I enjoyed the movie more than I did the book, and here's why. While I really liked the book, as I've mentioned before, my main issue with it is that it didn't really concentrate on the Triwizard Tournament. Like, it was a big part of it, but I feel like they glossed over the tasks. But with the movie, the Triwizard Tournament is at the core of the plot. Like, it really concentrates on the 3 tasks and just like the tournament as a whole, and I really like that about it. It's not so much about what happens in between. Like, in fact, everything goes by super quickly. Just like the Quidditch World Cup, it happens within like 15 minutes of the movie, and in the book it's like 100 pages before we get to that. So it's a very different narrative, and it's very different like rhythm, I guess. It tells the same story, but I feel like it concentrate on different things, and in the book it's very much about what happens in between the tasks, and with the movie it's the complete opposite. Like, there's not much in between each task. So I really enjoyed the movie. I feel like there are quite a few differences between the book and the movie, but the changes that were made sense to me. I feel like it made a better story as a whole. I feel like it was more plot driven, and just I really liked that about it. I don't know, I just feel like it was much more action packed and faster paced, and I enjoyed that. I'm not going to detail every single difference between the book and the movie, but I've noticed quite a few things. Mainly, I feel like the issues that I had with the ending of the book were resolved in the movie. Like, Voldemort has maybe one line where he explains everything that he did in order to get where he is at the moment, and I was like, yes, thank you, not a whole speech. So I feel like those issues were resolved, which I'm glad for. And also, like, the whole Barty Crouch thing was very different, and I think it was not better done in the movie, but it made more sense to me in the movie. As a whole, I really enjoyed the movie, and I think it's still my favorite as of right now. Like, in the 4 that I've rewatched, this is probably my favorite, which unpopular opinion here, but oh well, I'm gonna stand by it. So that means that I'm wrapping up this reading vlog. My camera is blinking at me, which means that it's time for me to wrap things up. So thank you guys so much for watching. It's probably gonna take a while before I start reading Order of the Phoenix, which is gonna be the next book in the series. I feel like I might want to take a break because I'm just not oversaturated, just not in the mood to pick up a Harry Potter book at the moment, so it might take a little while. But let me know if you want to see the Order of the Phoenix vlog, and I might read it sooner rather than later. And I guess that's it, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!